Well, Zimbabwe went to the polls yesterday amid a real sense of optimism. Today, well, the mood seems to have soured. Whilst the Election Commissioner says that there was no cheating in the process, the opposition, mindful of Zimbabwe's history of stolen elections, is already crying foul. Well, Focus TV Sophie Kenya is live in Harare for us. Sophie. Good evening from Harare. Well, the waiting continues. The results are trickling in. In the last few hours, the Zimbabwean Electoral Commission has been announcing results, and they are doing this in batches, starting from the parliamentary election results. And since we have over 10,000 polling stations, this might just take a while. As you mentioned there, people today have been crying foul over the election. Today, the ZANU-PF candidate, that's the incumbent president, Emerson Mnangagwa, took to Twitter saying he is ahead in the elections. In fact, to quote him, he said he has information from representatives on the ground saying it was extremely positive, he said on Twitter. Nelson Chamisa, on the other hand, said winning resoundlessly, those are his words on Twitter, saying doing extremely well. But the opposition doesn't look like they're really happy with what's going on so far. In fact, a little earlier, one of the alliance partners, Tendai Biti, had this to say.
We are, however, seriously concerned about evidence of interference with the people's will.
Well, I think it's important for us to note that the Electoral Commission has already said that it is illegal for anyone to announce any results that are not officially from the Commission. Well, a little earlier, the MDC supporters were celebrating on the streets after these announcement by their leaders. But Zimbabweans have been warned time and time again not to take the results or anything that's been said outside of the Electoral Commission any seriously. But as we go through all these here in Zimbabwe, what are ordinary Zimbabweans doing? What are they thinking? I've been out and about to find out. The flowers are in full bloom, the hearts beating steadily in anticipation. A day after Zimbabwe voted in historic polls, the streets were abuzz again. It's business as usual.
Like now, you see MDC people moving this way, crossing each other with the ZANU-PF, no fight, no what. Even yesterday during the voting was very, very peaceful.
I'm hoping for us as Zimbabweans to keep calm as we wait for results. And I think after the results come out, everyone will be happy. No violence, no what.
Businesses have opened, but some opted to wait it out in the parks. Looking around and with all the activity taking place here, it's hard to believe that people just voted in one of the most crucial general elections in the country's history. Their eyes and ears are now firmly fixed on Zimbabwe's Electoral Commission. Today, the body mandated to oversee the election has been announcing the results. Its chairperson assuring Zimbabweans.
I'd like to assure the Zimbabwean people that we as the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission will not steal their choice of leaders. We will not subvert their will. Whatever it is that comes out in our results is exactly what they decided in polling.
For now, results from the more than 10,000 polling stations continue to trickle in, and the Electoral Commission has appealed for patience. For now, the Electoral Commission chairperson there asking the Zimbabweans to be patient because it might take a little while for all the results to get in. In the past hour, we only had about 7 out of 200 constituency results, and those are just parliamentary results that have been announced. So we might be here a couple of more days before we get to find out who will be the president of Zimbabwe. Back to you, Lukwesa. Sophie, just very quickly, many people are describing this as a real test of the country's democracy. Do you get a sense that there is a level of concern from Zimbabweans on the street at this latest development? Well, Lukwesa, I spoke to a lot of people, a lot of them who are young, really. Most of them want change, and they're all pegging their hopes on the Electoral Commission and hoping that really this election will be conducted in a free and fair manner. Of course, the police said they were in charge, you know, all the hotspots have all been secured. The Electoral Commission says, look, a little earlier, she said there's no rigging that has taken place, so Zimbabweans should trust. But you know how it is with Zimbabwe. We are all hoping, as they are also all hoping, that this election will be credible, even as all the observers are here in Zimbabwe.
OK, Sophie Kenya, you're watching developments for us there in Zimbabwe. Thank you very much, talking to you throughout the week, of course.